Just as suddenly as the government had levied an export duty of 15% on most grades of steel and 45 to 50% on raw materials like iron ore and pellets in May this year, it scrapped those duties effective 19th November via a circular issued late on 18th November. With the removal of export duties, most of you must be curious to know about the impact of this move on the Indian steel industry. But before getting into detail, let us first understand why did the government impose export duties. The reasons behind the imposition of export duties were first to curb inflation and second to preserve higher domestic supplies. Following this move, exports of iron and steel products as well as their prices recorded a sharp fall. First, let's talk about the export of steel products. India's steel exports dropped by a steep 53% year-on-year in the first half of FY23 to 5 million tons compared to almost 11 million tons in the first half of FY22. Steel exports account for 15 to 20% share in India's steel production. The mills tried to work around the tax by resorting to exports of boron-added HRCs, but there were not too many takers for the same in the overseas markets. Eventually, Indian mills concentrated on the Middle East and Southeast Asian markets like Vietnam. But overall, demand for finished steel has been weak globally amid currency slides and inflationary tendencies. This has recently pulled down Steel Mint India HRC Export Index to a 2-year low to $518 per ton FOB East Coast. Now coming to its raw materials. Exports of iron ore and pellets in the first half of FY23 stood at 7 million tons, declining steeply by 63% compared to 19 million tons in the first half of FY22. Domestic iron ore and pellets prices fell as much as 40% since the duties were imposed. Now, possible impacts of export duty removal. What Steel Mint thinks. The removal of export duty has given steel makers an opportunity to resume exports, especially to Europe and Southeast Asia. However, we feel that exports would not rise immediately, at least till the next quarter. In FY23, steel exports are expected to fall by around 40% year-on-year to 10 to 11 million tons. On the other hand, exports of iron ore and pellets are expected to see a rise in the near term. Trade has already resumed and a few transactions have been heard recently. In FY23, we expect iron ore and pellet exports to fall by around 45 to 50% year-on-year to 13 to 14 million tons. With regards to steel prices, we expect that these would remain range-bound given the fact that there is weak demand in the domestic market. Also, imported prices are lower due to subdued global demand, which may cap a sharp rise in domestic steel prices in the near term. On contrary, raw material prices are expected to rebound with resumption of exports. So this is all for today's vlog. Stay tuned with Steel Mint Vlogs for more such updates.